Welcome to the stage, Tony Award-winning choreographer and founding artistic director of New York Live Arts, Bill T. Jones.
The title of this event, I Feel the Earth Move Under My Feet, is possibly the result of a too easy dependence on a pop cultural reference because of its readability, accessibility, and let's just leave it. I came up with this title as our present administration was rolling into town like a badass sheriff in a B-movie Western, determined to clean up Dodge City with its misguided habits, gender pronouns, intersectionality, critical race theory, the inconvenient truth of our history that makes some of us feel bad, look bad, allowing our country to be flooded by those who don't deserve to be here. Slovenly morality, born out of weak-minded beliefs and sinfulness, they were coming to get me, to get you, or when I heard some of you. They were coming for the summit conference. Don't take anything for granted, peoples. Let me take a breath and bring things to a hyper-personal, that stepping stone of certainty I'm most comfortable standing on. In 1971, when it became known in my family that I had gone queer, a 19-year-old punk, my big brother, Irie Lee, let it be known that he was going to come and beat my ass until I got my head right. How did J.D. Vance put it? Daddy's home, and somebody is going to get spanked. There are at least 4 or 5 stepping stones, or lily pads, if you will, places of certainty that I have claimed at points during my life to be solid, immutable truths. Those certainties have, in fact, mutated, shifted, and in some instances, exploded. What are they? Belief, spiritual, cultural, political, identity, racial, historical, sexual. Art, which is for me participation in the world of ideas. What is this conference? The future and the now. This now. The rest of this event will be a game. You feel like playing a game? Hey, you don't have to whoop. You can say yes or no. Yeah, I know you're all hip, down with everything. You don't have to signal to me that you know what's happening, sounding like a church full of black peoples. That taught the world to testify, woo, woo, yeah, yeah, yeah. Now everybody wants to be hip. The rest of this event will be a game, and these are its rules. Yes, I'm a rule-loving motherfucker. As I continue speaking, and I will speak a lot, my comments will be interrupted, sometimes even challenged, by stories I have written over the years. As my collaborators, and I hope that you will agree to be a collaborator in this game, your job will be to decide which of the stepping stones of my lily pads you will place these stories on. Now think about that. I'm giving you freedom to make meaning. That's what we want here at the Summit Conference, right? Freedom to make meaning. To remind you, the stepping stones of certainty are belief, identity, art, the future, the now. Here's an example. This is another Estella. Estella was my mother. She was, central casting for the Black Matriarch. I was being honored with the Dorothy Chandler Award in Los Angeles. Estella was sitting with me, resplendent in her Sunday best, and able to attract attention even in a room full of celebrities. Angelica Houston came over to our table and was soon immersed in a conversation with my mother, who had no idea who she was, but was sharing with her a generous description of her church in San Francisco. At one moment, Angelica said, "Mrs. Jones, would it be all right if I came to visit your church?" Without a moment's hesitation, Estella answered, "Yes, that would be fine. We accept all kinds." There are at least the rest of this evening. As I continue speaking, my comments will be interrupted to remind you the stepping stones are belief, identity, art, the future, the now. I came this afternoon with some music, my body, my memory, some stories, and perhaps most importantly, I come here today with that which cannot be named. It is in the air between us, and it pulls us together or pushes us apart. You ready to play? March 23rd, 2011, 5:50 p.m. I am composing this story driving north on 10th Avenue in Manhattan. Intermittently, throughout the day, I have been feeling like crying or breaking something. I wonder, is this story better if I don't explain why? I come this afternoon with one belief. God is in heaven, and Mama is down on her knees praying. People get ready, there's a train a-coming. Don't need no ticket, you just get on board. All you need is faith. All you need is faith. All you need is faith. There are believers in this room? I'm not. You know what I tell people? I have the infrastructure of a Southern Baptist without the faith. I thought that was the hip thing to be. This life is a vale of tears, and a better world is coming. When I last saw my mother, Estella, in the hospital bed, she barely recognized me, and yet when they placed one of her great-grandbabies on her chest, and that little one started rooting around, grunting with pleasure, pulling at her nightgown and her cheek, sucking on her chin, Estella opened her eyes and she smiled. Estella wanted nothing more than to stand up, but the best she could do was to sit in a specially constructed chair placed there by nurses and a lift team. Barely able to speak, Estella wanted to sing, and she sang the same song over and over again. Walk with me, Lord. Walk with me. Walk with me, Lord. Please walk with me. While I'm on this tedious journey, walk with me, Lord. Walk with me. And what about we shall overcome? We're poor and underclass, but this will change. The cure for poverty is ambition. Work hard. Use what you got, your body, your voice, your charm. A revolution is coming. Social justice, youth culture, the good, the natural will triumph over that which is old and evil. And what do you think of these two definitions of evil? I heard the man before talking about evil, wasn't it? Toni Morrison says of evil, I was bored by it. It needs a costume, top hat, tuxedo, cane, glamour. Goodness, on the other hand, is really hard. You can't seduce it. Evil takes center stage while goodness is anonymous, off stage. And you contrast that with Hannah Arendt, the great philologist, the great chronicler of World War II. Hannah Arendt, in her magisterial treatise, The Origins of Totalitarianism, absolute evil was driven by an audacious, monstrous intention to abolish humanity itself. In her later writing, she described Adolf Eichmann's evilness as bureaucratic emptiness, which suggested no such diabolical profundity, but only prosaic careerism. And, now this is important, evil is the inability to think. That's what fascism is. That's what totalitarianism is. How are you doing with that? Are you evil or are you good? I'm not sure about myself. 4, art is participation in the world of ideas, and performance is a way of becoming visible. I was invited to a dinner in an upscale restaurant celebrating the completion of a capital campaign at a major university. There were about 20 people in attendance. I delivered my remarks walking around the room, stopping to stand near the waitstaff or between the chairs of the attendees. Later, a large and assertive man declared he had an idea for an art event to happen at a cocktail party he wanted to throw in a few weeks. A day later, I received the following message from him. This is the deal. At an opening for my firm's new offices, a group of dancers dressed as regular people would roam among the guests doing some kind of performance. Sort of the way Bill did it last night at the dinner, but perhaps holding a glass of wine or a serving tray or whatever. We would post that there is a continuing performance by your company so guests will know what's going on. They won't expect that the performance consists of simply walking among our guests. If this is of interest and is within our budget, i.e. cheap, it would be very unusual and we could get a lot of press. Over a 2-month period, I saw 3 different evenings, 2 of dance and 1 of theater. In the first one, Prometheus by Jean Fabre, there was ever-accumulating sand and much nudity. At one point, a young woman was on the floor with her legs spread in the sand, her vagina revealed to the audience. A young man briskly rubbed his penis between his sand-covered hands. A week or so later, I saw Sarah Mickelson's Devotion, in which a fully clothed young woman in white performed such a difficult and prolonged series of movements that she hardly seemed human, more like a cyborg. A while later, in Tennessee Williams' Vieux Carré, performed by the Wooster Group, an actress is topless and 2 male actors are often naked in jockstraps, one of them with a dildo strapped on. In all 3 works, I continuously fused pornographic images from the internet with the live performance in front of me, sometimes not sure what was what. One major difference was I did not get an erection in the theater. Sensation, sex, loving.
Each day through my window, I watch her as she passes by. I say to myself, you're such a lucky guy to have a girl like her. It's truly a dream come true.
Come on.
running away with me. It was just my imagination running away with me. Ooh, soon we'll be married.
I just had to bust a move on that one. But now this was supposed to be the part that's talking about the guilt behind sex. Will I just lose control of my very soul? I feel all hot and cold all over, all over. I feel the sky tumbling down, tumbling down. I feel my heart start trembling whenever you're around. I just lose control over my very soul. How many people here have ever been to a gay bathhouse? Look at this lady. Were you in drag? I got you, and you're just a good neighbor, right down the street from where she lives, right? I remember back in the day when everybody in the downtown art world would be there on a Friday night. And you would hear Dinah Ross, I don't need no cure, I don't need no cure. Ah, sweet, 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 I got a love hangover. You remember? I hope you wouldn't remember. Because how much freedom can you have? How much freedom are you willing to pay for? And there is always an accounting. There is always the check is coming. Death at an early age. When a great love dies, love does not die. Over a 2-month period, I saw, I did that one. It was March. A light snow was falling. Uzuyuki, the Japanese call it. And though I was grateful for the heartbreaking beauty of snow on weighted bamboo, the lattice work of budding trees and the frosted granite boulders, I fell into comparing this March evening with that evening 24 years ago when it was warmer. Forsythias were in bloom everywhere as the neighborhood seemed to be holding its breath, and Arnie was dying upstairs in the bedroom. That would always be March. Harris, my oldest brother, told me this story. One day in the 1930s, when he was a small boy in the South, Estella's first of 12 children, he was with his mother and her best friend as they finished picking the cotton in one field and had to walk to a considerable distance to another field. A car with 2 white men in the front seat offered them a lift. Reluctantly, the 2 young women and the 3-year-old Harris got into the back seat. The 2 men, talking and laughing with each other, began to casually reach back to grope between the women's legs or feel their breasts. Now, I can't remember why Harris told me this story so many years later, but do remember the strained look of distaste on his face as he recounted how both women were silently weeping, shuttling the small boy between them as protection from the men's hands. In 1973, on a beautiful early summer afternoon in Brockport, New York, Arnie Zane and I were walking down Park Street, not too far from the house we were renting. There was a baseball game about to begin in the park nearby. Many cars were cruising past as we walked. One car slowed, and the driver, looking at Arnie, shouted, "Faggot!" Arnie cursed at him, and I began to kick the fender. The driver snarled at Arnie, saying, "Go suck ya nigger," before speeding off. Just my imagination, once again, running away with me. I had not spoken to Lily Mae since her husband, Harris, my eldest brother, died a few years ago. I was calling to locate family photos of the 1940s, 50s, and 60s for various documentary projects. Lily was very warm. She told me Harris had hidden the photographs as his Alzheimer's progressed, and though she had looked for them after his death, she had no idea where they should be. She spoke of her initial skepticism at the idea that there was anything wrong with his mind. That changed the day he walked out of the house, waving his children away dismissively as they called him, asking, "Daddy, where are you going?" He grew ever more fearful, often hiding out in the bushes. He became violent, striking her in the face once as she asked him to sit down for lunch. She was obliged to hide all knives and an old shotgun he would sit out front holding. When the end came, though he barely recognized her, he tried to hold her hand, only able to grasp 2 fingers. She quietly encouraged him to let go. She knew he had passed when he released her hand and was still. A Paul Klee drawing named Angelus Novos showed an angel looking as though he is about to move away from something he is fixedly contemplating. His eyes are staring, his mouth is open, his wings are spread. This is how one pictures the angel of history. His face is turned toward the past, where we perceive a chain of events. He sees one single catastrophe which keeps piling wreckage upon wreckage and hurls it in front of our feet. The angel would like to stay, awaken the dead, and make whole what has been smashed, but a storm is blowing from paradise. It has got caught in his wings with such violence that the angel can no longer close them. This storm irresistibly propels him into the future to which his back is turned, while the pile of debris before him grows skyward. This storm is what we call progress. In Nietzsche's Thus Spoke Zarathustra, the allegory begins with Zarathustra's arrival at a gateway. The gateway, like every gateway, has an entrance and an exit. That is, can be seen as the meeting place of 2 roads. 2 paths meet here. No one has yet followed either to its end. This long lane stretches back for an eternity, and the other lane out there, that is another eternity. They contradict each other, these roads, they offend each other face to face. And it is here, in this gateway, that they come together. The name of the gateway is inscribed above, Now. Behold this now. From this gateway, now, a long, eternal lane leads backwards. Behind us lies an eternity, and another lane leads forward into an eternal future. Thank you.
Sure.